Welcome to the Redeemables podcast, the podcast where we take movies that scored 50.
51.
51 this time.
51. Wow.
The podcast where we take movies that scored exactly 51 just for a few weeks and decide whether to redeem them or whether to nail them to the cross. I'm here with the love of my life who barely knows that I exist, Kenny, and the person who adores me, but I won't give them enough attention to realise they're really the cool one, Duff.
Yeah.
That's about right.
It's a love triangle for the ages.
I think you've nailed it again.
Yeah. Which is what a movie about... there's a whole movie about the love triangle.
Is that going on while all this other stuff's going on?
The love triangle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't notice it.
It's the core of the movie.
That's fucking sick. I didn't notice
It's
it.
not about, it's not about the bugs.
Oh.
It's about the love. And I'm talking about Starship Troopers.
In every age, there is a cause worth fighting for. But in the future, the greatest threat to our survival will not be man at all.
Hey, kid, what's going on? War! We're going to war!
Now, the youth of tomorrow must travel across the stars to defend our world.
We are a generation commanded by fate to defend humankind.
Everyone fights, no one quits.
We are going in with first wave. You smash the entire area. You kill anything that has more than two legs. You get me? We get you, sir!
But they will face an enemy more devastating than any ever imagined.
Here they come!
Incoming!
It's a 1997 film directed by Paul Verhoeven.
Yeah. I hope you've got heaps on Verhoeven.
He's an interesting dude.
Yeah.
Listen to this.
Wild range of movies. Yeah.
That's my notes.
Okay. Oh, I don't know anything about him as a person. Just his filmography.
Yeah.
I've celebrated for 3 decades.
We'll brush over him as a person because, frankly, who really cares? We're not a gossip podcast. We'll talk about him as a director a little bit, though. We'll see what I've got there. I wrote these notes a while ago, so I can't even remember.
Fascinating body of work.
Yeah. Really interesting dude. The screenplay is by Edward Nurenmuren.
Okay. Don't know him.
Probably not how you pronounce his name, I'm not going to lie. Close enough. I think I just got a little tongue-tied there. And it's based on a book by Robert A. Heinlein.
Oh, is it a book?
I've got a bit to talk about the book too.
I'd like to read the book.
There's a bit of book. Yeah, I know.
Is it available?
You're a book guy. Yeah.
I'll read the fuck out of it.
I got some stuff on the book coming up. I found it fascinating, and Ken can edit it out if it's that bad.
I will.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. I've already decided.
Sweet. Doesn't matter. I'm here to entertain myself. If anyone wants to come along for the ride, that's up to them.
I'm keen about the book.
Yeah, it's trippy. The movie stars Casper Van Dien.
Yep.
Van Dien?
The next big thing in Hollywood.
He
Casper
was.
Van Dien.
I looked at his filmography. We'll go on later. He's the next man.
He's still going.
He's
isn't he?
still got a chance.
Yeah,
he's still going.
Yeah, he's still getting them checks.
He's one step away from Ryan Phillippe. So every role that Ryan Phillippe's currently getting, Casper Van Dien's just one below that. Like if Phillippe dies tomorrow, Van Dien goes, fuck yeah.
No.
Put me in the next Netflix B-grade action TV series.
I think he's 2 below Ryan Phillippe.
Two below
Phillippe.
Yeah, someone else is in between. I just see Van Dien sitting in the hallway waiting for his audition, and Ryan Phillippe walks out of the room before him, and Van Dien just goes, fuck it.
Fuck it, Phillippe!
I've lost another one.
Damn it.
Who knew we were going to talk about Ryan Phillippe?
Yeah.
I'm into it though.
Why not? Why not?
Yeah.
Cool
Whenever
Intentions,
possible.
anyone? Fuck. What a film.
What did that score?
The musical?
Don't know.
No. Flat no. It also has, this movie also stars other people, and one of them is Denise Richards. There's also...
When do I boo? Like,
I've got a well, hold it, because I've got a page on her later.
You got a page?
So I got a whole page on her.
You know what I'm going to do next week? Notes.
It's a rant as well, rather than a page.
Really?
Of positive notes.
All right, I'll give you the signal to unleash the hell on
Thank
Denise
you.
Richards.
Yeah,
when the
let
time
me know.
comes. Yeah.
Let me know. I'm ready.
Also in this movie, Jake Busey.
Yeah, I'm all about him.
Yeah.
Love his dad.
Fucking Jake Busey.
It's a wild man.
Oh,
Yep. It also has Neil Patrick Harris,
Yep.
who you might know.
We're all fans
Stenson?
of Neil.
love him.
And Michael Ironside.
Yep.
There's
Also fans of
other people in
Ironside.
it. Other people in it, but I stopped the list there.
Yeah. That's
It's
about. I
fun.
think that's about right.
The
They're
guard.
the stars.
Just the guard from Shawshank.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and how Dean Norris We should have mentioned him as well. He's Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
The cop in Breaking Bad.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. There's
Yeah.
heaps of that guys in this.
There is.
Heaps of them. Heaps of them. I've got a wiki. It's in depth. Wiki really, they went diving on this one.
Go.
Starship Troopers is a 1997 American science fiction action film based on the 1959 novel by the same name by Robert A. Heinlein.
They were writing books back then?
1959.
Yeah.
Wow.
Turns
On
out
the
I'm not
parchment.
interested.
They were,
I thought they just did sad poetry.
yeah.
Yeah.
With the calligraphy and shit.
Yeah.
Set in the 23rd century, Starship Troopers follows the exploits of a teenager, Johnny Rico, and his friend
Johnny Rico!
That's one. Ding. One. While serving in the military under the Earth World Government, the United Citizen Federation. Humanity's exploration and colonization of outer space brings them into conflict with an alien species known as arachnids, leading to an interstellar war.
Good.
Comprehensive.
Sign me up.
You know what it should say at the end of that wiki? Would you like to learn more?
That would have been fucking... They missed a trick
That
there.
was so meta. Yeah, they missed an opportunity for sure. They also may or may not have missed an opportunity on the poster. I'll let you guys be the judge of that. So I've got 2. 2.5.
Yep.
A new kind of enemy. A new kind of war.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
I'm all.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I've got some
I'm all
issues
about
with
it.
whether it's a new kind of war or whether it's an old kind of war, but that's
Yeah.
another thing. And secondly, the other one that's out there is, since his existence, man has ruled the earth. In the future, the rules change.
Nah, I like the first one.
Yeah. And then I saw one poster, which was like a fan art style one, which I'm buying the shirt of because it was incredible. It was in full metal jacket style with the helmet, and it just said, "You apes want to live forever."
Yeah, I like that.
That's wicked.
Yeah. So I'll be buying that shirt from T Public or some other outlet.
Etsy?
Hot Topic.
Hot Topic.
Etsy.
I don't know. Is it Red Bubble? is that where you get the knockoff T-shirts?
Probably.
Yeah.
Red Booble. This movie had a Metacritic score of 51 because, of course, it did. So, in case you haven't caught on by now, we're doing a full round where we each choose one movie that scored 51.
51.
Yeah,
Crazy.
because we're just breaking the mold.
We're breaking the mold.
Can't help ourselves. We're unleashed.
We're also running thin on movies under 50.
we're not.
Okay.
No,
I've got
no.
1,000 to
Yeah,
try.
right.
heaps
Okay.
more.
We just wanted another gimmick. It was just time for another gimmick.
Give me.
And I was just getting sick of seeing movies that I liked have 51.
Yeah,
it was
fair.
a real kick in the dick every time. It has a user score of 73.
Yeah.
Right.
That's good.
$1997. How many dollars do you think it cost to make this movie?
I assume he got a wallet thrown at him, Verhoeven, after his previous sci-fi films, Total Recall, etc., RoboCop, and then he went, I want to do an alien blockbuster, and they probably just went, yeah, here's fucking 100 million. I'd say something like that.
100?
Yeah. I'd say it's massive, yeah.
Here's 100 million, but we'll take 50 million. So 50 million.
50 million?
Yeah.
105 million.
Okay, bang.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a high budget movie for 1997.
Huge budget movie.
And
And then he was allowed to do like a satire with that money?
well, I get into that a little bit as well.
He wasn't allowed, he just, he went
it's-
rogue?
He did a bit. Yeah. Yeah. There's a reason why he got away with what he got away with to an
Okay.
extent.
Yeah, that's
There's
crazy.
a bit of a backstory to that as
105 mil, and then it's almost a mockery of
It's absolutely
blockbusters.
a
Yeah,
satire of-
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I reckon I can't think of a more subversive mainstream movie, especially from that era, that was just like it was subverting the whole. It was taking the piss.
Yeah,
out of
it's-
basically the whole
Man.
American lifestyle.
It's that, but it's also like one step away from being a spoof movie of other like alien blockbuster movies.
Yeah.
Like it's just one joke or one bad costume away.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It walks that line.
It doesn't ever go below that. It's not a spoof movie
No,
because it's
definitely not.
good in its own rights, but it's right there, man.
It's it's a $105 million blockbuster made to look like a B grade movie.
Yeah.
Deliberately. Yeah.
Deliberately, yeah.
It was one of the many things that I find very
We got
interesting.
so much to
about
discuss.
Yeah. How do you reckon it went dollars wise? Did people enjoy this? Did they spend their hard earned pesos on this movie?
I think it's like Blade. It's more of a cult following after the fact that it's released. I mean, you watch it now. It's nah.
At the time though,
Yeah, the 40 million.
oh
Wow.
I reckon it would have been massively popular. I just remember it being massively popular.
Did you watch it at the cinemas or
I was
on
too young.
VHS?
I would have been 13 years old. So I would have watched it afterwards on VHS 84 times in the next few years after that. But I reckon it would have made bank. I reckon it probably did 150. No. So not huge bank, but...
It 121.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So just over.
So just cleared, yeah. And for the reason that you're saying, though, Duff, it flopped initially. It didn't do very well at all.
But it got a cult following. Like, as soon as it gets a cult following, here comes sequels.
So on that, when you're talking about VHS, this movie was one of the... I think it was actually the very first DVD I bought.
Really?
So when DVD players came out...
Wow.
And I reckon it was 99 or year 2000.
Yeah, 99.
I went and bought a Sansui DVD player, some
Sansui!
Chinese brand.
Wow.
And it from Strathfield, and it cost me $800. And then I went to Wanneroo Markets, and they had a shop there that had DVDs, and I bought Starship Troopers on DVD.
Great choice.
And it had this big silver border around it, and the movie was just in the middle. It was like a real event.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Go home and watch it on like a 50-centimeter TV with giant letterbox because there wasn't widescreen TV. And I'm like, what the fuck's this DVD shit?
Ratio? What's ratio? I don't understand.
This would have been better on VHS. I'm going to go full screen. Fuck, this movie cost me $900 to watch.
It's an interesting one.
Worth it.
Now I'm going to spend all night wondering what the first DVD I ever bought was. Yeah.
Oh,
something lame, no doubt. Not as cool as that. That's fucking cool.
That was it.
Yeah, kudos to you, mate.
Thank you.
Yeah. Would you like to hear some of the critical reception from release?
Yes, I think I would.
I'm glad because I've got it written here. I'm going to say it.
Perfect.
Jeff Giles from Newsweek, which sounds like a made-up newspaper and a made-up person. Probably real. I don't know. I didn't look into it. He said, an empty video game of a movie about interplanetary pest control. 30.
Lame.
I think what he's saying there is it's right up my alley. You should watch it. Because if I read that, I'd be like, yeah, fucking I'm in.
Yeah. He's having a go. There's no doubt about it. Yeah. Anyway, whatever, Jeff. Scott Rosenberg, Salon.
Rosie. Yeah.
He's been around.
We've been a few times. Yeah. This bizarrely discordant mixture of ultra-violent action footage, bad action, crisp special effects, and futuristic camp, the remnants of Heinlein's rhetoric of military pride stick out like a grimy Marine uniform at a high-toned Hollywood party.
It's a pretty good review.
It's a lot of words.
I don't understand it.
Yeah. I couldn't pay attention. I was too busy reading. What did he say?
I think he's kind of... Yeah. I feel like he's kind of summarised it pretty well.
Yeah.
But he's just... Obviously, he's found all that to be negative.
Yeah.
Whereas I'd kind of watch or read that review and go, that sounds pretty good.
Discordant is a word that if I see that in a review of a band, I'm in 100%.
What word is it?
Discordant.
Discordant.
Like just disconnected and all over the shop. That's thank you.
Yeah.
I'll have that.
Show me that.
Yeah. That's my
art,
ex-Marines.
Yeah. That's your ex-Marines.
It's my
Put
juice.
that in your veins.
Yeah. Rita Kempley from the Washington Post. Washington Post sent somebody. Thank God they did.
Yep. They love their film.
I don't know.
Washington.
They're passionate about shitting on movies. It's their thing. It's exactly like Star Wars. If you subtract a good story, sympathetic characters, intelligence, wit, and moral purpose. 20.
Oh, I see what they've done. Compared it with a movie that's got nothing at all to do with it. Completely irrelevant
They've
comparison.
got star in the title.
Yeah, that's about it. And it's sci-fi.
Yeah.
You fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Next.
Do you know the interesting thing about some of these as
How
well?
they got a job reviewing films and they're going to compare Starship Troopers with Star Wars?
There's a lot. She's done a lot of words for. I completely missed the point of this movie.
Yeah.
And that's the interesting thing is that these people will forever be seen as the people who didn't get it.
Yeah, for sure.
And as I'll probably talk about a little bit later, I might have been one of those the first time I watched it as well.
Okay, interesting.
In terms of not understanding the actual message.
Yeah.
Just going, oh, this is fucking cool.
Yeah,
I can't wait to hear the message.
Yeah. Oh, man. I got 5-6 pages on it.
Aliens are bad. That's the message.
Yeah.
Did you not?
Bugs are bad, okay?
Yeah. Co-ed showers. There's something about co-ed showers. Anyway, Roger Ebert. I've thrown in a Roger Ebert. Yeah. I don't know. I just felt like some Roger Ebert.
Good.
Yeah, so you're getting some. Roger Ebert said, what's lacking is exhilaration and sheer entertainment. Unlike the Star Wars movies... Come on,
Even Rog.
Yeah. Which embraced a joyous vision and great comic invention, Starship Troopers doesn't resonate. It's one-dimensional. We smile at the satirical asides, but where is the warmth of human nature, the spark of genius or rebellion? If Star Wars is humanist, Starship Troopers is totalitarian. 2 stars.
So I besmirched the other reviewer for comparing it to Star Wars. Now I feel bad because obviously I have a lot of respect for Rog, but he's done the same thing.
He has.
He's comparing it purely because it's a sci-fi blockbuster.
It's
but they're nothing alike.
It's the Denethieves Heat thing.
Yeah. But worse even.
Why
At least
does
they're
way
in the
worse
same-
because they're kind of in the same.
ballpark.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
again,
is Interstellar.
Yeah, this is right.
You might as well.
This is as close to Interstellar as it is to Star Wars, in my opinion.
They're in the stars and it's wars.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
It's stars.
Good name.
A Star is Born. Compare it to A Star is Born. Because it's Star.
Yeah.
Is this what we're doing?
Yeah. That's. I think
not
again,
enough suicide in Starship Troopers as there was in A Star is Born. Sorry, spoiler alert on A Star is Born.
What I find interesting about Roger's review there is he got it, at least. Like, he gets that there's satirical sides and he gets that it's a statement on totalitarianism, etc., but he just doesn't think it was very good.
Yeah.
Whereas I think the others, for the most part, missed the point entirely. Like, empty video game. Sorry, no, it's nothing.
No, it's
you
not.
missed it. It's definitely not empty. This has got layers, this movie. You know, the rest of it, you know.
You can almost lovely paper throw there.
For
those listening, VJ just did the toss of
toss it over my shoulder
over his shoulder
with disdain.
You can you can watch it either way.
You can.
So I could see a world where I could just sit back and watch it as like an alien action movie,
like I did.
Yeah,
which I believe I did the first time I watched it.
And then it's still like pretty entertaining if you watch it as I know this is a B grade alien action movie.
Yep,
and it's fucking entertaining as hell. And then you could watch it as a layered satire, social commentary, whatever, and you go, oh, fuck, this is actually really clever, and this has got something to say, as well as being a cool as shit alien sci-fi action movie.
I didn't see any of that.
I'll explain it to you in great graphic detail, because I watched it this time in particular much, much more than ever before from that angle. No doubt about it. No doubt. The first time I ever watched it, I was like, this is fucking cool. Like, people getting hacked up. Like,
it's very violent.
It's like, I think I've written it down somewhere, but I think we're like, I took note, we're like 2 minutes and 10 seconds in when the reporter gets hacked in half by a bug for the first time in glory graphic detail.
Yep. Great.
I'm like, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, there's a statement of intent.
Did not hold back. I feel like it was fucking MA as well. Did you get the rating down?
No.
I'm pretty sure. I'm picturing the DVD cover, and I'm sure it's MA and not R.
Did they even have MA back then?
Yeah.
Did they?
Absolutely.
It wasn't the fucking 40s.
I reckon it's R, man.
Don't know.
Yeah.
I'd give it an R.
I would probably have rated it R if I was allowed the...
I'm just going to briefly look it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. This will only take a moment. MA.
Yeah, right. Which means what?
Restricted to 15 plus.
I like the way we've arbitrarily decided that 15 is... We can take the gore from 15 onwards.
So M is recommended.
Yeah. Got a parent
15 or over.
Yeah.
MA have to be 15.
What is it?
Oh, you can go with your parents anywhere.
Yeah.
You can go and get heroin with your parents.
Yeah, they know some good spots.
Whatever you want. Your dad's with you.
Vic Park. Just go to Vic Park.
Is that a new spot?
It's just used to be. Yeah, so I don't know what the parent's supposed to do. Just remind you that it's fake. Don't worry, Ben.
I'll try it first.
It's not real. These bugs aren't real. Speaking of the gore, would you like to take a stab at the kill count?
Oh, man.
I've got, just to warn you to prepare your bodies and brains, I've got one of the most comprehensive kill counts we've ever had.
Yes, it's going to have to include all the ships that went down, Buenos Aires,
Buenos Aires.
Few million?
Geneva.
I don't know. 5 million, 10 million?
I'll go for 155 million.
Okay. First of all, kudos again to both you guys for picking up on the Buenos Aires thing, because that's where I thought I was going to get you. I'm confident enough to say this is a new record kill count on the redeemables. 8.815 million.
Okay.
There was 8.5 million people in Buenos Aires, which was destroyed by...
So you said 8.515?
Yeah.
And that's 8.5 straight away.
8.815.
Okay, sorry.
Yep. So 8.5.
So is that 8 million?
So take Buenos out. What do we got left? 300,000.
So, yeah. So they reckon that there was 8.5 in the bug.
Oh, you got
asteroid.
the breakdown?
Yep.
Great.
3,000. The other, and then sort of just ranked that there's 3,000 crew members on the vessels that were blown up by bugs.
Yep. I love that scene.
Oh, it's so
when
good.
You find out that it's bugs shooting the blue
out of their ass.
Balls
yeah. The way that they slowly let you know that they're more evolved than we realised.
Yeah,
that's
very cool.
Very brilliantly done. In terms of actual humans killed on screen, that you actually get to see confirmed kills, there's 128.
Yeah,
which is still pretty high.
Is that including like the bodies that they stumble across at that military base?
No, I don't.
Because they're already dead.
Yeah,
so they're not counted. Because I was going to say there must be like 100 there.
It's a fair question, but there's a lot of half. Do you count a half?
Yeah, true. Someone had to watch it in ultra slow mo and piece the body parts
just
together.
A torso. What are we giving it?
The whole movie.
Wait, those arms must belong with that torso. I can tell by the.
So there's 4 people here. Just lots of body parts. What do they eat? Do the bugs eat humans, or do they eat? I wish I just found out what they ate.
Really? That was your big burning question from the whole thing.
They weren't eating people; they're just chopping them in half.
Oh, they're just killing them.
Yeah,
good point.
What do they eat? Do they eat the sand?
I don't think it gets into that, does it? Because it's pretty dry where they're kind of living. It's barren.
Very, very arid. One of the things is that they're not killing for either fun or for food. They're killing because the whole thing is retaliation. We attacked them, and we bit off more than we could chew.
And they're like, "No, you didn't."
Yeah, which is that's a diversion from the.
So the bugs are the good guys. Is there anyone?
They might not be the good guys, but I'm not sure that they're the bad guys either.
I know. I was kind of going for the bugs.
Deep.
Yeah.
Fucking Denise Richards needed to get. Why did they kill the cool pilot? Like, put a fucking.
He was the cool pilot.
Yeah, he was great. Man, I watched this movie completely different.
Completely different.
So
I hated that dude.
He's just a lad. He's just a lad.
Him.
He reminded me of Rob Lowe, and maybe that's why I loved him.
He's very Rob Lowe.
It's a bit Rob Lowe.
There's a Rob Lowe, Richard Grieco.
He's like Ryan Filippi, Casper Van Diem. He's like the whole, it's the same thing.
So you're saying Xander the pilot should have been in Parks and Recreation?
Oh, he could have done
Yeah,
it.
he could have been.
He could have done
And
it.
Perkins.
I wonder what Xander the pilot's doing these days.
Probably
I don't know
fucking modelling.
Yeah, was he in anything else? I don't know.
We're not doing a deep dive into that.
Thanks
Robert
for not.
Mulhoon?
Don't know.
Robert something.
I don't think it's Mulhoon. That rings a bell. I think he's famous. Is he? Yeah. I don't know who it is, but it's Robert Mulhoon.
Poor guy out of Starship Troopers.
Fucking Bob. I loved him. Thought he was good. Denise Richards. Fucking killer.
Well, I can't wait to hear.
Put a fucking spike through her head and suck out her brains. You imagine him putting a spike through her brains and sucking it out. It'd be like 4 seconds. It'd just be a quick slurp.
Gone real early
Oh my
on
God.
the Denise Richards
It was
hate.
fucking empty.
I reckon if they did, then it would have just been
The only best
white
thing
ooze
she's ever
come
done
out.
is fuck Charlie Sheen.
Yeah,
Just bang.
It's like Duff was a corked bottle of Denise Richards hate, and someone
I didn't need to
moved
page
the cork.
notes. It's all up here.
It's just exploded everywhere.
I don't like anything she's in.
Okay.
I loved her in Wild Things.
Okay.
Carry on.
Did you? Or did
No,
you just like the
I
movie?
fucking hate Neve Campbell more than her.
Oh, shit.
But it's got bacon in it, so I'm all about it.
It's a very formative movie, that one.
How did we get here?
I don't know. Denise Richards and our hatred
that's
towards her.
Sucking a tiny little brain out.
Yeah. If anyone's a Denise Richards fan out there, like, just switch off now.
Yeah,
This isn't going to be good.
Yeah, trigger warning. Before we do go into general discussion,
Yeah. I thought we were doing it.
we
I jumped in.
It's fine. It's how we roll. I just wanted to.
Oh, my adrenaline's dropped.
Splash of water on him.
We got a taser. Anyone got a taser?
Fucking hell.
The book. I want to let you know a little bit about the book.
I was keen on reading it. Now it's 1954. I don't read anything.
1959. Thanks for listening. So it was authored in 1959, called Starship Troopers, and it's widely considered the first military sci-fi novel.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I can't imagine that was a huge genre back in 1959.
It wasn't.
Yeah, it would have been pretty
it's name
groundbreaking.
checked by everyone as that. Yeah, as like, but specifically like it's military sci-fi.
Is it called Starship Troopers?
Yeah, it's called Starship Troopers.
I'm
it's
keen.
Not very much like the movie whatsoever.
Not keen.
So it's actually was from around the time it was published, not very long afterwards, until 2020. It was part of the U.S. Marines reading list. So, like, they give the members of the armed forces like a recommended reading list.
Yeah.
And Starship Troopers was basically on that for that whole time, and it's the only science fiction novel to ever hold that distinction. And it was at one point or another on all 4 major U.S. military outlets reading lists.
That tells me the books are real different to the movie.
100%.
Yeah.
This movie pissed so many people off.
Yeah, it's like anti-military.
Because we didn't know there was a fucking book, right? But if you
Is
are...
it anti-military?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the movie is, yeah.
Oh, yeah. If you are a gun-toting, military-loving, thank you for your service type, rah-rah patriot, you know about this book already.
Yeah.
Like, there are probably people at home who are too fat to make the Marines who are like, I'm reading the books though.
Yeah,
and they're loving the books, and they're like living like.
And they got their
Popsy.
AR-15.
Yeah, they're just shooting cans out in the farm.
Yeah.
But yeah, they love this fucking book, and it's basically the idea also that I'm going out on a limb and saying the US military is not giving books to open the minds of the soldiers, right? They're not like, this will expand your knowledge on your worldview. what they're doing.
This will make you reconsider your service to the military. Yeah,
this is to foster nationalism and to encourage people to join the army and to serve and to bloody throw their bodies into the machine.
You could see that if this movie was just made not satirically, then you could see how it would be that.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, you said, come on, you apes, you want to live forever, and Rico's Roughnecks, and all that sort of shit. It's like
that's glorious.
Military shit. Yeah. It's like, and he gives up, he's from a rich boy family and all that sort of stuff, and he joins the military, and he's going to fight with his friends, and I will die for this country, and all that sort of shit. It's like, that's exactly what the military wants you to read, provided it's done seriously and not satirically.
They have to be.
Does the book have bugs in it?
Yes, very much. Yeah. I've got a quote here about the book that says it much better than I can, and it says, the overall theme of the book is that social responsibility requires being prepared to make individual sacrifice.
Okay.
Heinlein's Terran Foundation is a limited democracy with aspects of meritocracy based on the willingness to sacrifice for the common interest.
Yep. Which you can see elements of that in the movie.
Yep. Suffrage belongs only to those who serve their society by 2 years of, quote, volunteer federal service.
Yeah.
So the idea is you don't get the right to vote. Like the teacher is the book in this movie. Like the guy, his rhetoric that he's spouting in that classroom, he's taking the perspective of the book.
Yep.
And he's doing it even in the movie where he's like, I'm not telling you what to decide. Join the army. Join the army. Be one of us. That is heavily pushing on that. And it's essentially like an anti-communism, pro-military force propaganda book.
Yep.
And like a quote from it, which I thought sums it up, is the noblest fate that a man can endure is to place his own mortal body between his loved home and war's desolation.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to read the book.
Love that quote.
Yeah. And the irony is that the world that Heinlein creates is essentially is a hostile fascist regime.
Yeah.
Like it's not democracy whatsoever. And the movie makes the opposite statement to an extent. Like it's not making that statement, but it's making that message. Carrying that message.
It never goes all in.
Yeah. So like the movie's more talking about how the military is like how it's sold to people as a pathway out of like disenfranchised and displaced people. How it's a pathway to glory.
Yeah.
And this is your only way to glory because you'll never achieve even the basic right to vote.
That's how you become a citizen to have kids and stuff like that.
Yeah. So people fucking hated. The people who love this movie, this book, hated this.
I can imagine
some of the big differences
because it's the complete opposite of the tone.
Yeah.
So and he's taken the story and then gone, and now I'm going to make fun of this.
It's almost worse than that in that he's kind of used the name, and some. It's almost like taking some name and some main characters.
Yeah. Like
Johnny Rico is out of it. Like he's a Puerto Rican in the book, and he's obviously a white American.
Very weird surname for a very white boy. Johnny Rico.
So he's tweaked little things like that, but he's even changed like the whole tone, the whole thing. He's flipped it all. Right?
Yeah, completely flipped it.
So it would suck if you had read the book and you're just on R&R from Baghdad or whatever, and you pop down the cinema and you watch this, you'd be pretty pissed.
Oh yeah. And that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
And a lot of people obviously went into this movie. I didn't know anything about this. It's really fascinating. A lot of people would have gone into watching this movie expecting to see the book.
Yep.
Like what the message the book was sending, the same message.
Yeah.
And then they got, some of them wouldn't have got it and would have gone, that was really cool.
Hoorah!
Yeah.
You're looking at
Rico's Roughnecks.
Rico's Roughnecks.
Yeah.
See that would have stirred something in some people, whereas it's actually made you a little bit sad.
So I had a cricket team a while back, and we were named Rico's Roughnecks.
That's right.
Based on this, And
I just
satirically,
yeah.
Rico's Roughnecks.
Well, the other thing is one of the things that definitely, if they were watching it, and I'm sure the dudes, the soldiers watching this for the most part, and I'm making massive generalizations for all service people here, but whatever, we're going to stereotype them.
Yeah, please.
If they were missing any of the subtlety, quote unquote, subtlety of what was going on, the overt Nazi imagery, of the military in this and the high-ranking military in this really should have opened their eyes, and that was where Verhoeven really was sticking it to them.
Yeah,
like he made them not literal, but visually as close to Nazis as possible.
Well, I didn't notice any of this.
You're about to have your eyes peeled back.
Yeah. So
is that the right saying?
All your ears. I'm not going to.
Eyes open.
I'm not going to watch these words.
Forcefully peeled back. Yeah. So he changed all sorts of things within the movie itself. little bits like, there's no love triangle whatsoever in the book.
Yeah.
Which is...
That's a Hollywood thing.
Hollywood needs that love triangle.
Yeah. So Dizzy's not even a character.
Yeah, okay.
In the book.
Shame.
Rico and the teacher never cross paths again. They write to each other, but they never cross paths again. Rico's father is very pro-military in the book. He's like, yeah, you should join. All that sort of, the military tactics differ. There's no pseudo-Nazi iconography. All of that he's put in there.
It's very different there.
Is there a best friend, Jake Busey?
No, Jake Busey doesn't make an appearance. I don't know if the best friend is,
Not reading the book.
So... You mentioned before about how did
this is what I want to know. How did Verhoeven get away with this?
Right.
Because so what I'm curious to know, and I'm sure you're about to answer, but to set up the question is, did who financed this? Was it Paramount?
Columbia Pictures.
Columbia Pictures. So did Columbia give Verhoeven $105 million to make Starship Troopers, the sci-fi military action film, or did they give Verhoeven $105 million to make the satire sci-fi military action film? That's what I'm curious
He couldn't, if he went into this with the view to make it this subversive action sci-fi that it is, and I believe based on his track record of his previous films, he absolutely did.
Yeah,
he couldn't have timed it any better.
Okay.
I've got a couple of quotes from him about this.
Yeah.
So with regards to the Nazi stuff, which was controversial on release, people were like, fuck, that's pretty clearly like an SS uniform that Neil Patrick Harris is walking around in.
Yeah.
He said, I thought...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Remarkably close.
I watched a different movie.
It's starting.
I watched a different movie. I just thought it was a cool trench coat.
Just a dude in a trench coat. He rocked it, don't get me wrong.
It's Barney Stinson in the trench. I'm all about it. Carry on.
So Verhoeven said, I thought that these heroes and heroines were straight out of Nazi propaganda. No one saw it at the time. I don't know whether or not the actors even realised. We never discussed it. I thought Neil Patrick Harris arriving on set in an SS uniform might clear up any confusion.
And it didn't.
No.
They just kept rolling.
No.
Yeah.
So he was in on it. He knew what the fuck he was doing.
Yeah, he's
and no one else did. So the studio didn't, the actors didn't.
The audience didn't.
It's all him.
Basically, Paul Verhoeven is punk as fuck.
It's his masterpiece.
Yeah. And then the whole time he's thinking, someone's going to say, like, yo, I just twigged that the dude in the trench coat looks like,
Yeah, what kind of picture are you painting here? Like,
but he said, just completely slipped through. And part of that is because he said there was so much regime change at Columbia Pictures at the time that we slipped through to the net. He said when the executives finally saw it, they said, their flag, it's a Nazi flag. And he said, no, it's a completely different colour. Because the flag's got the eagle on it. And it's one of the first images you see in this movie. So people who consider the book like a really important piece of literature were completely offended by this movie.
Yeah.
They were outraged by it. They thought, what has he done to this, beloved piece of literature? And
this is just unbelievable.
I didn't even know it was a book.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable that he got away with this, basically.
Yeah.
Like, he's the only one in on the joke. I just can't imagine a world where that happens.
There's in the tidbits, there's some stuff that indicates perhaps the actors were, because they're putting the fucking costumes on. Of course, they looking in the mirror. Like, you can't tell me Neil Patrick Harris didn't look in the mirror and go, "Where have I seen this look before?"
Yeah,
French Fashion Week. No,
but then
World War II, mate.
It is '97 as well.
Yeah,
you're gonna get away with some more shit back then.
And the graphics and stuff like that, they might not have seen so much. But like
that could have been all post.
100%. This would have been a movie that would have been one of those movies that you're working on that you've got no real idea what it's going to look like until you see the finished product.
And if it's all shot out of sequence like they do,
common way to do it,
then they just, cool, this is just a war scene, and this is just a speech I'm delivering or whatever,
or there's going to be a bug there on the screen later. At the moment it's literally Paul Verhoeven with the broom because he was doing that. He was trying to scare them as much as possible, like running at them with brooms and shit like that. Like there's some stuff in here about this dude, like he's a fucking rock star, this guy.
That's great. I love him even more now.
So they wouldn't have seen the extent of the propaganda of it, and it opens with the propaganda, right?
Yeah, straight away.
Like straight into general discussion. Let's go from the get-go. Bang, straight into the propaganda, which also is the first very predictive part of this film. I couldn't help but think about Demolition Man, which we did on the podcast, and we talked about, and it gets a lot of kudos for predicting certain things that come in the future.
Yep.
This fucking movie nails a couple of really big things, right? Like you said at the Want to Read More?
Yeah.
This is pre-internet.
Want to know more?
Yeah, want to know more. This is pre-internet. and those thumbnails popping up right from the get-go with that kind of propaganda. That was clickbait before there was a term clickbait, right? Like we watched it in this movie from 1997.
Yeah.
So shit like that. Right from the jump.
Straight into it.
Yeah.
Fuck. I remember seeing this for the first time and thinking from that start, like, because it is a very, like, it's a jarring introduction to a blockbuster film.
So you get military drums,
yes,
right? And then you're into the, boom, straight into it.
And just thinking, what the fuck is this? Mm-hmm. This is not what I signed up for.
Yep.
You're expecting like a dramatic intro and all this, and then you're like, oh, this is going to be like camp and satire. The whole, like, you have to change your whole way of watching it, I think, instantly. Yeah. So I think the first time I watched it, I was just kind of jarring that particular start. And then once the kind of shit starts, and I'm 13 or 14 years old, I would have gone, this is cool.
Yeah.
And then you watch it again when you get a bit older, and you watch it again, you're like, oh, shit. It's like all the stuff we've just spoken about,
Well, I watched it a week ago, and I went, oh, fuck, this is cool. Literally, I don't...
Yeah. But that's the beauty of this movie, right?
I didn't see it as satire. I thought it was fucking grisly.
Okay,
awesome.
so let me ask you this. That the military stuff aside, and the Nazi symbolism aside, all that sort of thing, right?
Anyway.
all that aside, it's incredibly, like, campy and cheesy and B-movie, and
it's definitely a B movie, but it's not. I don't think it's a spoof movie or anything like that.
You're looking for the word spoof rather than spoof.
So I watched it very differently, Ken.
So if this is a blockbuster film with $105 million,
I didn't know that.
Why is the acting B grade?
Because it's Casper Van Dien and
why are
Denise
they doing
Richards' friend.
Would you like to know more?
I love that shit.
Why are they doing
Would you like to know more?
Goddamn bugs whacked us, Johnny. Yeah. It's a fucking satire. The whole thing is like,
I didn't see it. It's a week ago I didn't see it.
The tone
I'm
is
not going
completely
to say I see it now.
The tone is jocular like the whole way through. It's cheesy.
Maybe I'm shutting the mind off and going, I just love the war scenes and that shit. Show me some creatures and bugs.
No, but it's so over the top cheese that it's meant to be that way.
Oh, yeah, and it's perfect.
Yeah, but not in a satire way.
No, I don't think so.
Fuck.
So
I don't think so.
He deliberately, he felt like, because I suppose it's his vision, he, like Pearl Verhoeven, thought that this was very obvious.
Very.
Like,
I missed it.
I missed it. I can't quite remember because we're talking a fucking long time ago. And a lot of water's gone under my boots, if you know what I mean. So
and I do know what you mean. I've been in that water, under that bridge.
I lived under that bridge for a while.
I got syphilis from that water.
It was a cold sore, you drama queen. So he, I believe the first time I saw it, I watched it on a much more surface level.
Yeah.
I also, again, I wouldn't have been more as attuned to the Nazi iconography.
No, that sort of stuff I would have missed early on. You get that later on as you get a bit older and all that sort of shit.
But Verhoeven actually said, like, to talk about the way it's campy and the look of it all and that sort of thing.
Incredibly.
Yeah, so I got another quote from him about it.
It's a monster movie. They're all fucking a bit campy.
Yeah, but you don't get $105 million to make a campy monster movie.
Yeah, I didn't know how much it's making.
No, but it was a blockbuster, though. It's a summer blockbuster.
Yeah.
And then it's like this, but anyway.
You look at the Meg now, it's the same thing. It's camp as fuck.
Yeah, that's great.
True.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's a fair comparison.
Yeah, I mean...
But it's also kind of a little bit satire.
Oh, no!
I don't know if satire is the right word, but it's intentionally B-grade and campy.
Yeah.
Like, that's its style.
Snakes on a plane, baby.
Yeah.
I'm all about it.
Yeah.
But I don't see that as satire. I see it as a fucking great blockbuster. I don't... Yeah, I took it seriously.
And you can.
I signed up for the war.
Yeah.
Well,
you can. I said that before. You can watch it both ways.
You can.
And I'm happy to watch it the other way and go, this is just a cool sci-fi action film.
I went out the back of a chainsaw looking for cockroach.
So
come on, you apes, try to live forever!
But it's like there's two movies there. You're missing a whole other movie.
I missed the whole other movie. I watched the poster.
Well, watch it.
I think I watched the poster. You guys watched the back of the cover.
I'd love to hear your take on it, watching it again with this.
Yeah, watch it again.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to change the way I feel about it. And
no, you got a whole other movie to watch.
Yeah,
you'd be watching it for the first time again.
Not keen.
Going, oh fuck.
I'll just read that
because every scene.
You've made it quite clear you're not going to read the book.
Yep.
I just wanted to mention one.
You might love the book.
Yeah,
because the book is the movie you watched.
No. The book is not the movie I watched. I haven't read
it kind of is.
We'll be sitting here next week like, where's Duff? And he's shipped off to join the Marines.
He's joined the Marines. He read the fucking book.
He's joined the French Foreign Legion.
Yeah.
I think that Verhoeven says it really well himself here, where he says, If I tell the world that a right-wing fascist way of doing things doesn't work, then no one will listen to me. So I'm going to make the perfect fascist world. Everyone is beautiful. Everyone is shiny. Everyone has big guns and fancy ships, but it's only good for killing fucking bugs.
Perfect.
That's really good.
Yeah. So,
man, this guy's a genius.
Yeah.
This film is a fucking
honestly, this is why this is a big. You know, I said I wanted to do this like before any other movie. This is a big reason why.
So many talking points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just found it fascinating to look at it from that point of view.
Definitely.
And everyone is, and this is part of the thing that it got punished for by critics, is he chose these soap actors, right? So the acting is one point of contention big time with this movie. People shit all over the acting in this.
It's once again, like, intentionally awful.
Yeah.
I think. It's all part of the campiness and cheesiness.
I don't think the actors
it's all part of the satire.
That maybe the lines they got given, or
you don't
I think Michael Ironside and Jake Busey are acting the shit out of it.
So you think when they got the matching tattoos and they all put their arms next to each other and the camera zoom in, do you think the actors are going, "This is going to be so good when it comes out"?
You know what I thought when I seen that was going, "Oh, how cool do they do tattoos?" And I thought Jake Busey's arms were bigger. That's what I thought. That's my mindset.
I assumed that the actors knew what they were doing.
Duff spent the next 15 minutes wondering who would win an arm wrestling competition with Gary and Jake Busey. Who did you settle on after?
It would be a tie.
Yeah, they both got the same level of crazy. Yeah. That's the problem.
It's just
I think the only actor for me that I felt was like incredibly fucking bad, but didn't realize how bad they were, was Denise Richards. I thought, to me, watching it, I felt like everyone, and it's news to me now that they maybe weren't, but I did feel like everyone was kind of in on this joke.
Yeah.
And they went like, let's just fucking ham it all the way up. And Denise Richards went, I'm just doing whatever I can do.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the mousy one.
Yeah. She's just void of fucking charisma, personality, whatever.
I didn't realise we were going to hate on Denise Richards so hard.
She's a fucking android. She's just...
I can't stand
no, she deserves what's coming to her, right?
I can't stand
it. So I think I was watching it this time. I was keeping an eye out for this shitty acting. I was going to be hyper aware of it.
Yeah.
Especially Casper Van Dien. He's the one who everyone said was the worst actor of all time.
He is a terrible actor. He thought he was acting the shit out of it. Every other movie is exactly the same. Sleepy Hollow nearly ruined the movie because
it's not a very good movie.
He wasn't in a lot after this.
No, I've got a brief discussion on the Casper career, but it's only brief.
But I'll argue that they couldn't have got someone more perfect.
Yes,
because if it was a great actor and they actually put on that, like I believe, and I could be wrong, and you might have notes, but I believe Mark Wahlberg they were trying to get Wahlberg for this. If Wahlberg's in this, it doesn't have that same. If Wahlberg's in this, then it's the movie that Duff is watching gets better.
Mm-hmm.
But the movie, the satire and all that sort of stuff that it is, like the brilliant sort of, masterpiece behind it all, then it's not that.
Yep.
You can't have too good a actor there.
No.
Otherwise it withdraws from the,
So Verhoeven actually said...
I watched the shit out of it with Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, I know. And I would watch it as the wicked action movie with Mark Wahlberg. Turn down the campiness a bit, take out the Nazi uniforms, and just have it as an alien sci-fi movie with Mark Wahlberg. Fuck yeah.
So, yeah.
Make that one as well.
But Verhoeven was so deliberate in his casting of these people. He says... this is probably my last Verhoeven quote, I think, but I could read his book. And he said, it's an idiotic story. Young people go to fight bugs. So I felt the human characters should have a comic book look. Mark Wahlberg and Matt Damon auditioned, but I was looking for the prototype of blonde, white, and arrogant. And Casper Van Dien was so close to the images I remembered from Lenny Reinstadt's films.
Yeah,
so of
with his big
propaganda.
fucking jawline and like his perfect hair.
It looks like Roger fucking Ramsey.
Yeah.
It's like you're in. Yeah.
He looks like a doll.
Yeah,
like if you're going to make an action figurine doll, and that's
with
Casper
3D printed.
Oh yeah, he does.
Yeah.
So he wasn't as bad as I remember.
They're just all bad, intentionally bad, I think. Yeah, I think.
Duff disagrees.
Michael Ironside wasn't
bad. Michael Ironside's good.
It was not bad.
Hey, but Michael Ironside...
He's going for it still, though.
He plays Michael Ironside in every role, but he does it brilliantly.
Perfect. Yeah, and so does Jake Busey. Like, Jake Busey's just... He's Jake Busey as Jake Busey. He does it well. I like Jake Busey.
Just put some gel in his hair and let him go.
You never want too much Jake Busey. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's like the guy that rocks up at the party you haven't seen for a while, and you're like, fuck, so-and-so's here, and you run over and you have like a 5-6 minute chat, and then you're like, all right, cool, I'm done with that.
I'm going to bounce.
And then you just get the fuck out of there and don't talk to me. Yeah, he's that guy.
I'm that guy.
Fuck, I probably am as well.
I'm aware of my role.
Shit.
I fucking definitely am.
We're all just having a moment of realisation.
This is a lot to take in.
Everyone calls me That's why everyone calls me Busey. Please be Jake and not Gary.
So we very early on, we're at school. So working through the movie, we've got like we talked about, we've got the bang intro, right? Which were you not thrown by the fact that you knew that was a scene that was going to come up later on? That's one of your pet hates.
Yes.
So you could have done without that?
I didn't hate it in this one because I don't think it was as purposeful as it was in Uncharted. Like Uncharted, it was purposeful because it's like, oh, we don't know about this movie, so here's the best bit of it.
Okay.
Whereas this, it actually kind of played a part, I guess, in the exposition of it, or maybe I don't know.
Felt
it didn't feel as bad.
It gave me it helped me orientate myself when we arrived at that point later on in the movie.
Yeah.
Where I was like, oh, this is where we are.
Yeah,
I'd forgotten about that to an extent. I was like, here we go. And then even though you know what's going to happen over the next like 45 seconds, a minute or whatever, it still played out differently than you assumed it did if you just stopped watching the news footage.
Right there, yeah. I still go, I didn't need it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just never need it.
Yeah.
But it didn't bother me in this one.
I reckon it was to give us like a really hot start.
As in to put us in the right tone of the movie?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, to go, okay, just so everyone knows
we're going to get there.
We're fucking around here.
Yeah.
And this is a satire we're not watching. Yeah.
Yeah.
But not all of us knew that.
I don't think many people knew that.
It was even if it's not saying that, having the reporter graphically chopped in half 2 minutes in is setting you up for this is gonna be a fucking wild ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
a wild ride.
Yeah.
Bear with us. This is to come.
Yeah.
That's simply as what it is. There's kids in school fucking training. There's a wall.
So to talk about the movie, the satire and the hidden, not so much hidden, but the message aside and all that sort of stuff. The actual movie itself, as we're saying, there's some great fucking bits throughout.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, I had a great time watching it again.
Yeah.
Like, for the fucking 15th time or whatever.
Yeah, I'm all about the bugs. I kind of shut off when everyone's just chatting.
Yeah.
I actually find the first maybe half of it before they get into the full war, I actually almost find that more entertaining than when they're fighting the bugs. Because once they start fighting the bugs, it's just like they're shooting 100 rounds into bugs for like half an hour.
And you hate that? That's my jam, Cat.
No, I don't hate it. I'm just saying.
Please don't reload. Please don't reload. I didn't. Yes. Yeah. Keep shooting. Yeah. These bugs die hard.
They do fucking take a lot of bullets, man.
Shoot at the stem, which is a tiny bit in the middle. And even if you do, they're going to fucking jam a leg in you.
It's one thing you would take away from this movie is how many bullets a bug takes to get killed.
Is this futuristic
how have we not got better guns than
just
this?
Like,
It's definitely, again, though, without doing this too much throughout this podcast, because I'm sure people don't listen for BJ's existential takes.
I do.
It's also wicked. Thank you, Ken.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It's also a little statement on the futility of the way they're going about things. Because
100%.
So also a big part of that is their fucking lack of plan.
Yeah.
So they just throw that. Basically, when you're recruited, you were just like you were grist for the mill. You were literally like fodder, or what we call it, cud.
Yeah, cud. That's right.
Cud. And you were signed up to be effectively fed into this machine and spat out to the bugs and destroyed, right?
Yeah.
And you were almost assured of death. Yeah, And because they've got no fucking plan.
Hopelessly.
A weird thing is, like in the training and stuff, the live action training was they were shooting other humans. Why didn't they fucking have a bug, something hard to kill, instead of a fucking paper human?
Human took his
you know what I mean?
helmet off.
They get trained, and then they're an orb, and these fucking little crab motherfuckers come running at them. Jesus Christ.
I love the training stuff. I loved it all.
I love the training stuff.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of detail, and I liked how they built. All of that was built. You could tell like they built this big training ground. And they kind of made it all. All the obstacle course and everything was built. Yep. Even when they're inside the
run them in sand, motherfuckers.
Yeah, it's fucking cool.
Yeah,
like it's all. That's where the 105 mil goes.
The world building stuff is fantastic.
It's really cool.
I found it really convincing. The whole school, the whole setup, like it seemed.
It all looks real,
and it didn't need to force that on you too hard. You just got an idea of where you were. I didn't know it was the 23rd century till I read the wiki.
Yep.
I just knew it was in the distant future.
I knew,
right?
Yeah, it's future.
Yeah, and it's quite far into the future.
Yeah.
There's enough relatable touchstones that you know that it's modern society, like it is to this extent, but it's also far enough. There's enough shit that you don't understand, technological wise, and all that sort of shit.
But they didn't dig too deep into that. Like everything was kind of the same now.
You got it.
Just some of the space travel and things like that was far advanced. But like the day-to-day shit was
the big points of plot that you needed to know were literally shouted at you by those thumbnails.
Would you like to know more?
Yeah. They were like, you need to join the army to win a vote. All that sort of stuff was shouted at you, and then it was just character building in between and building the context of.
I remember
I liked all that.
I loved it.
Building
I loved
stuff.
it.
I remember when I first watched that. would you like to know more? I used to love that bit. And I was like, yes, I would like to know more.
And now you're like, leave me alone.
Yeah.
Have we in this room, have we got any other Dizzy fans out there?
Oh, yeah.
Diz fan? Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah, okay. Because she's a little weird and annoying at the start.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, fuck, I remember really liking her when I've watched this in the past. Why don't I like her this time?
She's about
and then there's like a turning point, and then you're like, oh, that's right.
Yeah.
She's just a bit weird at the start.
I've got here, Dizzy has been kind of a salty bitch at the beginning.
Yeah.
She is kind of annoying.
Yeah.
I said, but she's a fucking hell of a quarterback.
Hell of a quarterback.
Yeah. Johnny Rico seems like a good ball player, but he's very one-sided. There's not a lot of defense in his game. He got very easily distracted.
Just loves to
I like all their flips.
just loves to flip.
Yeah.
Just throw me the ball, Diz. Yeah. One of my favourite lines. Like just out of nowhere. It's so weird.
Go, Arvin, Latham, cover the run. Terry, fake left. Bertoli, you go long. Rico, flip 6-3 hole. Got it? Hey, Rico. Hey! What? You drifting! Flip 6-3 hole on 1. Got it?
Just throw me the ball, Diz.
Ready, break.
But all that, even...
I love how the opposing fucking football team is the pilot.
Yeah.
The good guy pilot, Bob.
Yeah. Those coincidences as well that they set up, because you've got to have the main protagonist. So we've got our core 4 or whatever they are, that go together, and then bringing in people like that, and then the coincidences that, look who's on the bridge when she walks into the bridge and spins around the chair, and it's fucking ridiculously good looking. Robert Muldoon.
That's the only part of the movie that I get really bored and I don't like, and partly because Denise Richards is just fucked.
Yeah.
But the other part, the other part, it's just like, I don't know, man. This is all a bit boring. Like her with the learning how to fly the spaceship and all that. I just don't.
Couldn't give a shit.
Yeah.
So that's all just to set up the fact that she's crazy enough to do the flight later on to extract them from.
Yes, but fuck, it's a lot to set it up.
Also, it seems
all
like
you could do is go, she's a crazy pilot, and
I also find it a bit of a stretch that she's gone from this really conservative, bookish student to this crazy bitch as soon as she gets behind the wheel. I'm there's no signs of this before.
There's a bit where they dodge the asteroid, right? Where Denise Richards is in control of
She presses down.
Well, wait for it. Wait for it.
Whoa, that's unbelievable.
So the main captain comes in and she says, luck didn't have anything to do with it. We've got a hell of a flight team.
Yeah.
Do we? Because that's a giant fucking asteroid that they picked up 6 meters prior to impact, and then she just pushed down.
Also,
how is it a hell of a flight team?
Also, she took them off the safe course to save them a bit of time through an asteroid belt. I was like, she's in so much trouble. And then the captain's like, you're a hell of a pilot. And I was like, no!
We got a hell of a
flight team. We've got to hold her accountable for this.
Yeah.
I hate those people
terrible.
at work. That's me at work. That's the guy next to me crashing into asteroids, and the boss is walking in, catching him doing one bit of work. He's like, good work.
Perfect.
I look at my phone for the first time all day. I'm busted.
So,
You're so stunted.
I got stunted.
We are going 1997. So does that take all that out? I don't need it.
Yeah.
I don't want any of the side shit with Denise Richards and another weirdo that Duff likes.
He's a fucking good guy.
Xander,
yeah. I don't want any of it.
Yeah.
I don't need
Rob.
it. I don't need it.
You can tell.
Denise Richards die early.
This is one of the other narratives around this movie.
We would have lived if it wasn't for that hellacious flight team. Everyone lives apart from Denise.
Poor Denise. They do, interestingly, initially the narrative was that she was a bitch. Like when you... when it came out, when I watched it when I was younger, maybe I felt this way, or maybe I remember this being the discourse around it. I'm not sure, but it was like, oh, that Denise Richards, she really fucked around Johnny Rico, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
and then you come to realize that, and she was very certain about the boundaries within that relationship. She was like, "You're my high school thing. I'm going off to do my career. I'm all about my career. Don't get in my way. Don't get in my way."
Yeah,
and then she's just a really career-driven lady.
Yeah,
the writing was on the wall when Casper Van makes her say, I love you. I forces her.
Yeah.
You're going to say it? I said it, you say it now, baby.
I'm going to hold my breath.
Casper Van Dien.
I think what makes her a bitch, though, and that you're right, because what she actually did is not a bitch move at all. It's actually best for everyone involved.
Yeah.
But it's, what pisses me off with her? It's the flirting with the dude right in front of him.
Exactly what I was going to say.
And it's like, no, you're a piece of shit.
That look that she gives Xander just as she's about to kiss Johnny Rico for winning, that's when you know that she's a bit of a sociopath,
yeah,
right?
Definitely. Yeah.
And
And I don't know, maybe that's just her terrible fucking,
maybe it's
acting.
Maybe it's Sandra's charisma.
No, I think it's 100% that
charismatic.
It's so charismatic.
It's
just kind of such a good guy.
I hope him and Denise Richards are together now in real life.
Oh, yeah.
And just not anywhere.
And he's got to look after Charlie Sheen's children.
Yeah, who do you want, Xander or Charlie Sheen?
Are they still together?
He's trying to make Charlie Sheen's children call him Daddy.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Fucking Charlie Sheen.
What else we got?
Dead
Special effects?
Yeah,
really good.
I'm interested to know your thoughts.
Okay, so here we go. So 97, I always factor in when it's from. 97, the bugs look great.
Mm-hmm.
Bugs are spectacular.
As we spoke before about the sets and all that. I don't barely any of it was green screen. Like it all looked great. It looked like they were actually on location every time, so I'm all for that. The only stuff that I thought was a little was the spaceships.
Yeah.
From like external view.
Yes.
Inside the spaceships is great.
Yeah.
Once again, all built, all great. But yeah, the outside, that looked a little shit. And I was kind of thinking, how the fuck did they make these bugs look so good and so interacting with the environment and the people so well in all the scenes? Yeah. And then the spaceship looks so shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that should be way easier than the bugs.
Yeah, we've been doing spaceships since Star Wars.
But I know nothing about.
Would you watch this movie if the bugs were shit, but space looks spectacular?
No.
You have to put that 100 million into the bugs, man. Because the bugs are.
So
satire and shit aside, the bugs are the main attraction.
Yeah, true.
So maybe we go. Maybe you're right. Maybe we go. All right,
50 mil on the bugs.
You've got 50 mil to spend. Let's make 40 mil bugs and 10 mil ships.
Yeah.
Rather than 25, and all of a sudden you've got average looking bugs and average looking ships.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was a mixture of CGI and animatronics, and they blended well together this time.
Yeah, the animatronics didn't really stand out at all. Like, it all looked pretty good. It all looked seamless. Really good for 97.
Verhoeven knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
apart from anything else, this guy knows how to do a sci-fi movie, man.
Yeah, well, remember, man, he did Total Recall. When did that come out? 87 or some shit? And
I'm all about that.
That looked pretty good back then.
It was incredible. That's got some of the best aliens.
Yeah.
That's it.
RoboCop looked good.
Speaking
of what he's doing.
Speaking of breasts, the one of the other scenes that this is a very famous movie for is the shower scene.
Oh, the co-ed shower scene, yep.
And this time watching it, I thought it was really interesting how, I don't know if this is even a word, but unsexual it was.
Very unsexual.
It was just completely platonic.
Certainly wasn't unsexual when I was 14 years old.
No, this is what I mean.
Yeah.
I was like, I saw Dizzy's boobs.
Yeah.
And I watched it this time, I was like, this is just people like bantering whilst, this is like they go around the room.
It felt very normal.
Yeah. And I really liked that touch in that, like, a lesser director, stop smirking at me, Duff. a lesser director might have pumped that up a little bit too much.
Do you have the tidbit on this scene?
Yes. Yeah.
What the director did?
Yeah. So Verhoeven said to the cast, he said when they went to do the nude scene, I'll get you the quotes even.
So we can do it later if you want.
Yeah, we'll do it later.
Okay.
We'll do it later. We'll get to there.
We'll stay tuned, everyone.
So that scene I thought was one that I noticed very differently to the first few times I watched it. The other thing that stood out to me this time, interestingly, that everybody who is spruiking for joining the military is damaged.
Yep.
Right?
Physically?
They're scarred. Like you can physically. So the most overt version of that is the guy.
Oh, well, infantry made me the man I am today. And then
that's
he wheels
when
off, he's got no legs.
Yeah. So up until then, you've seen he's got no arm. You go, oh, poor guy's got no arm.
Yeah.
And then he says that line, turns around, no legs. Yeah.
What about you, son?
Infantry, sir.
Good for you. Mobile infantry made me the man I am today.
Good for you, son. Yeah. That really stood out to me. Even the teacher, and it was like nobody came back. Even the ones who came back, which was a very small percentage, I'm sure, were scarred.
Yeah.
Like, physically fucked for life.
Which is another commentary on the
100%.
On military today.
Well, Casper Van got a bloody claw through his leg.
Yeah.
He was there for 20 minutes.
Man, speaking of that, how cool in this film is
That's cool.
Is the healing.
I think that's the first time that's been shown.
Like the bathtub with that, and then the other bits where they like just break an arm and they wear that like plastic kind of what would you call it, like a cast?
Yeah.
And it's got the blue liquid in it, and it's just healing. Oh,
that was cool.
Man.
That was after the sergeant.
When did we get
drill
that?
sergeant broke his.
Broke his arm.
Yeah.
When do we get that?
Oh, soon.
I want that tech.
I'm consistently breaking things. I could really use that. I'm willing to trial it if anyone's listening. If Big Pharma's listening, I'm easily bought, and I'm really accident prone. The other thing that dude says, the recruitment dude,
yes,
he overtly says, More meat for the grinder, eh?
Yeah.
At that point, you're not like, I don't know if I want this job.
Maybe this isn't it.
Yeah.
Well, Casper Van was a terrible leader, so he should have left the training camp disgraced, roll credit.
Just because he got one guy's head blown off?
Yeah. It's kind of a big deal.
Was he?
He took a guy's helmet off, and the guy
was just trying to help.
Yeah,
it
but
reminded
then
me of Saving Private Ryan, where the guy takes his helmet off and goes, "Oh God, that saved my life."
I disagree because he took the whips for it. What made him a bad leader is then walking out on it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so I reckon he makes a mistake. Fuck, all make mistakes. He takes the whips or the penance for his mistake.
Yeah, this fucking military is hardcore.
Yeah.
That's exactly. It's a
and
fascist
then
regime.
And then they go, like carrying the guilt of killing a guy.
Yeah.
And then still carries the team. That's a leader.
Yeah, he's a true leader. Yeah. You just needed his quarterback.
Hey, all he did was flips. Ritz was the real leader.
He was a little emotional, I think. A little bit of a baby.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he'd been coddled. He was
very angsty.
He's from upper middle class. His parents.
Problem with these upper middle class kids.
Hippie parents. Yeah, they could turn yuppie.
Well, they paid the price.
He kind of did, yeah. That was a really bad time to call mum and dad, wasn't it, poor guy? Yeah. That was a bit of a drama. I did have some issues with the helmets. Like they did seem like a little loose. I was like, if I'm joining the military, the one thing I'm doing is I'm like, can I get a helmet that fits?
Yeah, no shit.
Like it keeps falling down over my eyes. I'm going to test that shit before I run out in the live fire. I'll be like, guys, we've got a budget for a helmet.
I'm not sure that happens very often in current military action where your visor fucking malfunctions. Yeah.
I hope not.
No, I wouldn't have thought
Probably.
so. Yeah, maybe. I had some favourite lines.
Hit me.
Because there's heaps. And we've actually already done a few of them, but I'll just run through them and you guys can raise me or whatever if you got some. One of my favourites, and I actually use these lines still today, and I know no one knows what the fuck I'm talking about because I work with mostly 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
And one of them is, "What's your malfunction?"
Yeah.
It's a great one. I say that all the time. What's your malfunction? Yeah. I said it before, but goddamn bugs whacked us, Johnny. When they're watching the Buenos Aires. It's so good.
Is that Geneva? Goddamn bugs whacked us, Johnny.
The mobile infantry may be in the man today, and then the classic line, which is kind of this one gets quoted heaps, and everyone knows where it's from. It's the only good bug is a dead bug. Yeah. And then another one which isn't like a really cheesy over the top line, like those all are, and they're meant to be that way. The other one is just this little thing that I think it's Ironside says it when he comes to the tent. And Diz is in there, and it's when they first sleep together.
Yeah.
And she like peels back the sleeping bag or whatever, and then she pops up and he's like, sees who's in there with him, and he goes, "Make it 20 minutes."
Yep.
Because he's like, see you in 10. Make it 20 minutes.
He's got some of the best lines. So he also says...
Is that Ironside that says that?
It is, yeah. I've got it here.
I love how he promotes people.
He what, sorry?
Like how he promotes people.
Yeah, I need a corporal until you're dead or I find someone better.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Just really good line.
Interestingly enough, my boss said the same thing to me when he gave me the job. He's like, this person to be dead or I find someone better. It's only a matter of time. One of the lines I like, and I use at work regularly, I run through the workshop screaming, "War! We're going to war!"
Perfect. There's obviously the "Come on, you apes" line. That's
I love it. I love that. Come on, you
not so much a line, but a great moment. I remember this moment every time, and I know when it's coming. Is when once again it's Ironside, and he grabs the gun off someone and the sniper rifle.
I expect the same.
Yeah, zooms in on the guy, shoots him in the head when he gets taken by the bug. I expect any of you to do the same for me. Yeah.
And then someone has to.
Yes.
Johnny. Who steps up? Johnny. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm coming for your job.
Yeah, some really
Then
memorable...
Xander comes in and saves the day, I believe. Carry on.
No. Some really memorable moments throughout the film, and it all comes flooding back. As soon as you start watching it and you realise, oh, fuck, I don't know, same for you guys, but I know this movie scene for scene, almost line for line. I know what they're about to do. I know the mannerism. I know the look on his face. I've seen fuck, I must have seen this movie a lot of times.
Yeah, I remember the outline of it. There was a lot of detail that I'd forgotten.
Yeah.
And since I last watched it, I'd obviously read some stuff or listened to some stuff about it so that I had a different perspective on it, watching it with the knowing that I was going to be picking up more of these subtleties in it.
For sure.
Because when the guy starts, from that moment where his mates runs past, he comes out of the tent, poor guy, is finally, in the tent.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What's happening? War! We're going to war!
We're going to war!"
Was he in the tent with
No, that's when he was leaving.
That was before that, wasn't it?
He was about to leave the training camp.
That's right. That's when the rhetoric jumps right up on the whole military thing, and that's when it gets really full on. Like they start pumping the little thumbnails back to get like closer together, and they start shouting it more and more because we're actually now ready to go to war.
Yeah, and they're so excited by it.
Yeah, they're so jazzed about it.
I just love that the reporter gets done. I love movies where a reporter gets done. Like,
oh yeah, he gets so Johnny.
The other fucking movie we watch where the billboard hits him in the face
disaster
the day after tomorrow.
Yeah.
So one of the little subtle things I picked up this time that I hadn't noticed before is when the reporter is being chomped by the bug, the dude keeps filming. He even zooms in.
Yeah,
like that dude is legit.
Capturing
his
the moment.
job. Man, well done.
It's a moment in history.
He died literally 5 seconds.
Yeah, I know he died for that shot, but way to go, buddy! Like we respect that so much. A couple of other little subtle things I missed, but I picked up this time. The camp where they get ambushed by the bugs. The Mormon extremists. Did you pick up that?
No, I don't think I did.
So they tell the story on the news bulletin about what that joint is, and it's like the Mormon extremists thought they could come here and sort of rationalize with the bugs, but they learned.
Yeah,
and all those chopped up people.
So another comment.
But Mormon extremists I thought was pretty funny.
That reminded me of Zulu. That bit, like 100 men holding off.
Yeah, man, that
for a little bit.
That stampede of bugs when they realise they're fucked.
Exactly like Zulu.
That's a big part of it as well. Like this is another statement in the movie is just like man's arrogance and hubris. Like we're smarter than the bugs. We're so much smarter than the bugs. We'll just swan in there. It's only the second time.
We got our guns.
Which take fucking 500 bullets at least.
I don't even think they don't have to reload those guns. It's great.
What's crazy is that the first time they go in, they have no plan whatsoever. They just get wholesale slaughtered and they retreat.
Yeah.
The second time they show that there's such a thing as air support.
Yeah.
So they send in air support, but you don't see them again. There's so many times where, other than when they rescue them from the Mormon extremist camp. I'm like, can we please have some air support here? Like, I'm not a military. Like, I don't have any background.
Well, they couldn't get a radio signal.
You're not an ex-Marine.
No, I haven't even read the reading list.
Because the bugs got into that guy's brain and he destroyed the radio equipment, so they couldn't radio out. So the whole time they're fighting, Rich is in there trying to fix a radio. So I think that's why there's no air support. And they finally get Xander on the line.
No, but I mean, when they're invading,
I'll come for you.
I just want this bitch next to me to die. But that wasn't part of their attack plan. Like basically,
not initially.
I'm talking about the bugs. I'm on the bugs team. Remember?
Yeah, I know. I'm with you.
Great strategists.
I'm with you. They're pretty good.
Favorite bug?
What?
Favorite bug?
Oh man, it's just the
arachnids, the soldiers.
Yeah, the Groots.
Yeah,
the brutes.
Mobile infantry.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of the ones that shoot the blue balls into. Yeah. I like that.
That's a really good time.
They got some trajectory, don't they?
Yeah.
I wonder how far they go before they fade away because they go into space.
Yeah.
Does it keep going
forever?
Into space?
They're on their way. They're on their way here now.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Great bug design / alien design.
Yeah.
Which I think, are we talking about that on a mini-sode?
Yeah, we're going to do aliens.
Yeah,
we're going to do our favourite alien antagonists on the mini-sode. So inspired by these incredible bugs.
Very beautifully designed. And even to the brain bug as well. Like, once again, it's just really
the world's biggest dust mite.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like. He looked like one of those things on an ad for how bad your pillow really is.
I feel like that when the microscope zooms
it's all skin and dust mites. This is what you're breathing in.
I feel like that bug was possibly practical effects as well, animatronics.
Yeah, I think he was actually.
It looked real. And then when Neil Patrick Harris puts his hand on it, it's like, oh no, that's a hand going on that.
Yeah,
which is cool to make that.
Yeah.
Did you notice those little bugs carrying him?
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, these poor little fellas.
And the overwhelming joy when he says, "It's afraid."
Oh, yeah,
and they're like, "Hooray!" All they wanted to feel was the fear of their opponent.
Yeah,
that's all they needed to give them hope.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't a hell of a lot to be happy about beyond that for the human race.
It wasn't going well.
Fucking wandering blindly into wholesale slaughter.
Yeah.
That scene where they're firing the balls up into the sky and there's all the fucking big planey things, the big starships,
starships. Well done.
in the sky.
No, I like planey things.
And the captain's like, "No, there's fine. These are just balls of energy or whatever."
Yeah.
And then they start taking out the other fucking starships,
and
they
quick,
realize,
press down.
Yeah,
hell of a flight team.
And it's all that's building up to them being absolutely ambushed and absolutely fucked by that thundering hordes of bugs coming at them. And that's when we get the big scene, big sad scene where Dizzy gets skewered. Tell me you didn't shed a tear there, Kendra. Did you?
I hated it because I love Diz.
She's
I'm
the
all
best.
for Diz. Yeah,
and
yeah.
she says, "At least I got to have you."
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, he must be a hell of a lover, Johnny Rico.
I'd imagine he is.
I'm just happy Jake's
corn-fed Iowa white boy.
He's my quarterback. I'm just happy Jake Busey died. I couldn't care less who died.
Yeah.
But as long as it wasn't Jake Busey.
Does he not die at all? No, he doesn't.
No.
He gets injured pretty bad.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Buseys are immortal.
Should we speaking of Busey, should we get into cast, director,
we absolutely
etc.?
should.
Yeah.
Yep. So
what do we got?
We're just going to skip through the cast relatively quickly, but we're going to have a little chat about the director.
Yep.
Paul,
have we not? We've already done 45 minutes on him. Let's do more.
Let's do a little bit on his life as a man.
I'm curious.
His thoughts, his feelings, what makes him tick. He's got 34 credits as a director. He's got a Metacritic score of 55. His highest score is a movie that I have no idea what it is. It's called L from 2016 that got 88. His lowest score is 19.
What's L? How's it spelled?
Like Elle Macpherson, E-double-L-E.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
No, never heard of it. If it's about Elle Macpherson, I'm keen, but if not...
Old red-blooded BJ.
A bit of an Elle Macpherson fan. Just have the calendars. Back before she was a crazy anti.
You're a Sirens guy, aren't you?
She's a cooker now. She's probably living with Gary Busey and complaining about vaccines.
He's a boring.
His lowest score is 1995 erotic flop, which is also the name of my latest sex tape. Showgirls.
Yes.
Yeah,
it was
terrible.
16. So that was a miss. That was a swing and a miss.
Really?
Horrible.
Yeah.
It's not good, is it?
No, it's not a good
fucking
movie.
horrible.
You were just kind of like, when you were 15 years old or whatever, everyone knew what it was.
Oh, this was...
It was kind of... It was notorious.
Turn this off.
in
I'll
high
watch
school.
striptease instead.
This passed for horny content before internet porn. Basically, this is what we had. We had this in Madonna's sex book.
So how did we?
I didn't have it.
I didn't even
I
know
made
there
friends
was
with
one.
people that did, even though I didn't like them.
Where did Basic Instinct? What was there? Did you have the score for?
I don't
that?
have the score, but I just wanted to give a shout out to his 4 other absolute bangers.
Yeah.
Hollow Man.
Hollow Man's unreal.
Hollow Man is his best movie.
Yeah.
Really? You going out
Without
and
a
seen
doubt.
that?
Bacon. Love it.
Ooh,
It's
fuck,
so
that's
good.
huge call.
Josh
Really
Brolin.
good movie. Basic
Underrated.
Instinct, in which he pretty much invented the erotic thriller.
Yeah.
R-rated thrillers.
Yeah.
It's a phenomenal movie.
It's
Basic
incredible.
Instinct. It really is. Yeah.
It's a very good movie.
Yeah. Famous for the wrong reasons, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's actually just a really great movie, but then everyone just goes, it's the one where Sharon Stone spreads her legs and
It was very raunchy back in the day.
Yeah, it
so
was.
It was very risque. He also did, as we mentioned before, Total Recall and RoboCop.
Oof.
So he's got other movies, but who cares? Like, he's got 34. He's got...
Here's a fun fact.
Yep.
I don't like RoboCop.
I've not watched it. Isn't number 1 really slow?
Yeah, no, I just don't like it.
Really?
I don't know why.
Yeah,
It's a very good
man,
movie.
I haven't watched him for 20 years.
Yeah.
I remember liking him.
Total
making
Recall.
statements
I'm
on
all
that.
about
the
Total
first
Recall.
one's quite slow. I'm pretty sure RoboCop after number 1 get better,
Yeah, nah.
as in more like sci-fi action versus.
He's got something to say in
concept.
that movie too.
Oh yeah,
He really does. In all these, he's got something to say. Paul Verhoeven, he's Dutch. He's got degrees in mathematics and physics. He's been nominated for an Academy Award and a Golden Raspberry.
What was the nomination for Academy Award?
I don't know. I didn't look it up.
Basic Instinct, surely.
No, don't know. I'll put it in the comments.
Okay.
I won't edit that bit out.
We'll forget it. Claim to put a lot of things in the comments.
But we've said plenty about him. Like this is his
His opus.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's his middle finger to basically America, if we're going to be honest.
Yeah,
Really. And I love him for it. Well done.
yep, totally with him.
Casper Van Dien, shall we?
Not much.
Should we do it?
Not much there.
Would you believe that he's got 152 acting credits?
Yes.
on
I would.
CV?
I would believe that.
it. Yeah, absolutely.
He's got 45 as his average Metacritic. His highest
That's
score.
astonishing.
Yeah, it really is, considering he's done 152.
Yeah,
His highest scores for Sleepy Hollow, which Duff mentioned before, was 65. Not a favourite movie of mine.
I don't remember it. Is it Johnny Depp?
Yeah, it is.
I
yeah.
fucking hate
Yeah.
Headless
And it's-
Horseman. Loved it.
Yeah. Nah,
All about it. Christopher Walken.
I don't think I've even watched it.
I'm never watching it.
I
again.
know I
I'll
hate
make
it.
you that promise here and now. Yeah. His lowest score, he got 14 for the Amiga code. I don't know what that is, and I'm never going to find out.
I can
I've seen
tell
it.
you what it is.
Please tell me.
I've seen
It's
a lot of
fucking
these.
rubbish, just like his other fucking 150 movies. I just seen a new release he's got out where it's about he hunts humans.
Really?
Yeah. It's a
That's it.
reality TV
How do I
show.
watch it? How do
He's just
I
really
see it?
hungry.
Casper Van Dien is the hunter.
The hunter.
He's like if Bruce Willis is currently making B-grade movies.
Nah,
Casper Van Dien's like below that in terms of the films he's doing.
He's hanging out at M, I reckon.
Yeah. So he was in
the letter. Yeah.
Who posted the photo of the movie he was in?
Yeah, that was me.
And he's with Tom Berenger and
yeah.
That gives you an indication of what
I was
about.
almost in it, Tom Berenger.
And that's probably one of his more famous ones.
I'm trying to quit Tom Berenger, but I just can't.
Oh, love shit. Shit.
So he's basically he was in a bunch of shitty TV shows as well, especially even prior to this.
Yeah.
So he was a soap star, not a real big shock there. Like he was in 90210, Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman,
Monk,
Married with Children, stuff like that. So and he's still making underwhelming movies, as we said.
With Ryan Phillippe.
Every single one of his movies has a guy that does the trailer voice. Casper Van Dien is
like Ryan Phillippe.
There was like
story.
one other. So there's one other good Casper Van Dien movie.
I think it's
and
Mortal Kombat Legacy.
That's
which is a short story.
You guys keep chatting. I'm gonna find the other good Casper Van Dien movie.
Okay, so
there is one. I'm sure of it.
Dina Meyer this is her moment, really. This is probably the peak. Other than her highest score was, she's got a Metacritic of 44. Her highest score is Piranha 3D.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
With a score of 53.
I think it's got Ving Rhames in it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Piranha 3D. And he gets the thing in the chainsaw in the water.
Jerry O'Connell.
Yeah.
It's actually a really banging cast.
Yeah, it's a good film.
Her lowest score is Bats at 23.
Bats! Lou Diamond Phillips.
Yeah! I like that.
I'm all about Bats, man. Bats is good.
Bats is good. Write that down for the pod.
Yeah.
23.
Bats, baby.
Okay. Keen. She was also taken from soaps. She was in Beverly Hills 90210. She was in Friends. She was in, this was one of her big cracks at fame. Her other one was Johnny Mnemonic.
Oh,
which
Hulk Sutter.
I remember. Is it Keanu Reeves?
Keanu Reeves, and it had
Dolph
a moment.
Lundgren, baby.
Yeah, Dolph Lundgren had a moment in the zeitgeist.
I haven't thought about that movie in a long time.
It had its moment.
Is it good?
Had Henry Rollins in it as
I don't
well.
think it's good, is it?
No, it's not good.
I watched it because of Rollins.
I watch it for Dolph Lundgren.
It was like it's an interesting concept. It would have dated really, really badly by now.
You're still searching Casper Van Dien's filmography.
So the other
for 15 minutes.
He's got some bangers. I forgot that I've seen quite a few of these.
Yeah.
The other good one that I really liked was his Tarzan film, which came out just after Starship Troopers. It was like his next movie after Starship Troopers. He had a Tarzan movie.
Did he really?
Wow, me and
you know, I like my adventure movie. Yeah. And I remember, it's probably fucking terrible.
Yeah.
But I would watched it, when I was 14 and gone, oh, this is good.
Yeah,
and there's Casper Van Dien, my favourite guy from
buying
Starship
stock
Troopers.
in Casper Van Dien.
Yeah. All right, I'm done looking at Casper Van Dien's filmography. I hope I
So is
never have to do
everyone,
that again.
All I wanted to say about Denise Richards that we haven't said already is that they really tried, whoever they are, Incorporated, tried really, really hard to make Denise Richards a thing for a while there.
Yep.
Like, they wedged Denise Richards into some pretty legit movies.
Don't know why. I don't get it.
No.
I don't actually think she's overly attractive, and I know that's subjective.
I find her attractive.
And I think she's a terrible actress.
She's a bad actress.
She doesn't have any sort of presence.
No.
Other than the fact that she would be attractive, I guess.
Yeah.
No charisma.
Yeah.
Nothing.
She's
just
got
nothing.
no it.
Yeah.
She has no spine.
No.
She has she's
like a jellyfish.
She's
a jellyfish.
She was good in Castaway. Wasn't she Tom Hanks' boat he makes?
Jesus Christ.
She got outperformed by Wilson.
But they tried her in The World Is Not Enough and stuff like that. Yeah, they gave her a crack, and she ended up just marrying Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jake Busey, he's our boy. He's still going okay. He's still pumping out occasional movies. This was around peak Jake Busey time, though. He's done quite a lot of things. He was also in
Identity
Identity
is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah,
Contact.
that's great.
He was in Contact.
Yeah.
Don't remember that.
SFW, which I believe got one of its very few shout-outs of the last 25 years on this podcast because it's a Stephen Dorff
Stephen
joint.
Dorff, yeah.
Yep. Stands for So Fucking What, and it was that was another zeitgeist
It's a fun movie.
Speaking of fun movies and Jerry O'Connell, he's also in Jake Busey's in Tomcats,
Yeah.
which I remember being very pleasantly surprised by when I watched it. I also have a bad feeling about how
I was going to say, I don't think we should watch that again. I don't think it should exist anymore. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's going to be quite problematic.
Yeah, that's a cancellation right there.
Yeah.
And his highest ever score was for Enemy of the State.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the henchmen.
And he's still working in straight to streaming shit now. He's still popping up every now and then.
Yeah, and why shouldn't
he? It's Busey. He's immortal.
Yeah.
Neil Patrick Harris, we all know him. He's the guy out of How I Met Your Mother, is really good. The other guy is Michael.
He's got a new show, Neil Patrick Harris,
Does he?
on Netflix, I believe. Yeah, I haven't watched it. Yeah, but
not many have.
He's had a decent.
They're pushing it pretty hard.
No.
Doesn't look like it's for me.
No, I have seen that. Yeah, he's had a good movie career as well. I mean, he's obviously How I Met Your Mother was a really big show, but
huge.
He
plays
Doogie Howser in this and Starship Troopers.
Yeah. Just to go off topic for a moment, have you guys watched the new How I Met Your Mother? It's called How I Met Your Father or whatever.
Yeah, it's fucking garbage train.
My God, man. I lasted like 3 minutes of the first episode, and I was just like flabbergasted that someone's created this pile of dog shit.
I watched one episode and went, yeah.
Oh, man.
That'll be it for me.
So incredibly bad. Anyway.
No, I'm not going to watch it.
Please don't. Please don't anyone watch that. Don't encourage them.
Should be called How My Show Got Cancelled.
Yeah.
And we're just going to move on from that and give Michael Ironside a quick shout out. Dude is doing work. He's done 279 IMDb credits. He's played himself in Total Recall, The Machinist, The Perfect Storm, Top Gun, Terminator Salvation.
Everything he's ever
Major
done.
Pain.
Yes.
Yeah, and
That's right.
Scanners.
Yeah.
Scanners. Yeah. Scanners, which is an underrated gem.
Yeah.
Fuck, I love Major Pain.
He gets all the good lines. Apparently, he was a really good mentor to Casper Van Dien on set, and Casper Van Dien still credits him as a guiding influence on his career. Make of that what you will.
I'm not sure. Michael Ironside's going, shut the fuck up, man. Stop saying that about me.
Have you considered acting? Give that a try. Acting is reacting. And I just want to smash through some tidbits, if that's okay with you guys.
Sure is.
So, as we alluded to before, the infamous nude shower scene, Paul Verhoeven and cinematographer Jost Van Col also got buck naked.
Yeah.
It was after Dina Meyer challenged the director during a walkthrough of the scene. Paul Verhoeven said, "It's no big deal." And Meyer said, "If it's no big deal, you do it."
Yeah.
So he did. So everyone on set was naked for that scene.
Kind of creepy, but also like, fair enough. Like if you're going to tell 20 people to do it, then you get naked as well,
Put your money where your mouth is.
But yeah, definitely kind of creepy.
Yeah, super creepy.
I've got another Verhoeven quote. I'd lied before. After the scene caused a stir in an interview, Verhoeven said, "Americans get more upset about nudity than ultraviolence, and I'm constantly amazed by that. A bare breast is more difficult to get through the senses than a body riddled with bullets."
Yeah, that makes sense.
He has quite the disdain for the US.
Yeah, he really does. Yeah. Maybe not the US. Maybe just some of the ideologies.
Just the structure of it. Yeah, exactly. The whole. Yeah, he really picks at a few ideologies here and there. He picks his targets well, and he
don't
hits
we
them
all
every time. Some other tidbits: the fireball rushing up behind the three actors in that tunnel. In the final scenes when they're running away from the dust mite, that's a single take, real explosion.
Dust mite,
fucking work. It's like a Dyson ad on steroids.
I love how the first nuke was massive, and this one was kind of like a poof.
Yeah. It's because they didn't want to kill the real actors. The film is set in 2197.
Okay,
so that's
makes sense.
Not far away.
The cast, now this is, alluded to the fact that the cast might have picked up on the Nazi iconography and they might have been in on the joke. They were calling Neil Patrick Harris Doogie Himmler on set.
Well, so they definitely knew.
How did they? So they knew. Yeah. They knew what time it was.
Is it Doogie Howser? Is that his name? No.
Yeah, Doogie Howser.
Yeah. Because that's kind of German as well, isn't it?
It's such a good nickname. Jake Busey suffered severe heat stroke during the filming of the battle scenes, and they actually had to get everyone's uniforms modified afterwards to make them breathable because it was hot in those latex outfits. And Jake Busey was the first one to go down, which I wouldn't have picked.
Yeah.
In the book, as I mentioned, Johnny Rico is actually Juan Rico of Argentina. Sorry, I said Puerto Rico.
Juan Rico.
Yeah.
Juan Rico.
I like it better. Yeah. Get Michael Pena.
Oh,
now
Michael it's the perfect film.
Yeah. He would have been too young at the time.
He would, but let's remake it.
Remake it with Pena.
And the scenes showing explosions and fire in Buenos Aires was actual footage of the 1991 fires in Los Angeles, which is another bit of a subversive move by our mate Paul Verhoeven.
Movie's just riddled.
I know, it's so good, isn't it? Paul Verhoeven proudly says he never finished reading the book. So
didn't need to.
He's trolling the fuck out of people.
Yeah.
And he says this is the favourite movie that he's ever made.
Good. I'm glad it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there endeth the tidbits. Would you like to give us your summaries?
Sure. I think it's my favourite Paul Verhoeven movie as well.
Okay.
I'm not going to say much more. We covered off a lot in this one because it is a thick film. Mm-hmm. There's a lot to digest. So it, as Duff said it is like a cult. I think you said it was like a cult movie. It's got a
Cult
cult following for different reasons, apparently.
Yeah.
So this is actually awesome because I thought it was a cult following because of all the shit that BJ spoke about.
I think
you actually think it's a cult following because it's a sci-fi action alien movie.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So it has this giant cult following for very different reasons, which, hey, that's cool. I think it's a genreless masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a masterpiece for so many different reasons. All of its flaws are all of its charm. Yeah. And maybe the flaws are actually intentional.
I believe they are.
Which makes it its charm.
Yep.
Yeah. I love it. I'm going to give it 84.
Oh,
ew.
That's it. Bang.
Yeah. Nice.
I watched this movie like it's a blockbuster, and I'm going to enjoy it. And I did. I didn't notice any of the other stuff. I don't really care for it. And if I did notice it, I think I would have not liked it as much as I do like it. And I'll continue to like it as a film, as a blockbuster. Yeah, your satire, you've kind of turned me a bit with the thing. I still don't care. Because it's fucking men not reloading bullets, shooting fucking bugs. The bugs look spectacular.
Yeah.
The fucking all bugs look spectacular. Even the little baby bugs. The big dust mite at the end, I don't think that's great. But I don't care because if you have a horde of bugs, it looks magnificent and every bug you can tell the same. And this is a really early movie. I'm all for it. Blood, guts, hell of a flight team.
Some sex.
Jake Busey, Michael Ironside. Yeah, I'm all about it. I thought it was a good, fun movie.
Yep,
I didn't go deep. Didn't need to go deep. I just thought it was fun. So 64 for me.
64.
Cool.
Okay. Well, as just a movie, as a spectacle, as a gory, overblown, balls to the wall, B-style action flick.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
So even watching it on the surface level and simply enjoying it like that, it's ridiculously pretty people being chopped up by massive creatures. Like, what's not to love?
Totally with you.
Yeah. As a subversive piece of art, as a satirical statement on like the futility of man, the hubris of man, the insidious nature of like government coercion and the military-industrial complex and all that fucking fun stuff, and the dangers that come in the wake of just blindly following the influences that are forced on your throat and the greater good and all that sort of shit. Loved it even more.
Yep.
Yeah, I love that shit. I'm all about it. It's like this is the fucking Rage Against the Machine of movies, right?
No, it is. Yeah, it really is. Man.
As a film, it's not perfect, but I'm perfectly okay with it not being perfect. I love this movie since it first came out, and my enjoyment of it has grown in different perspectives through different prisms over the years since it came out. Definitely, absolutely redeeming. 85.
Whoa.
Bang.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
that's cool. We were there together.
It was a good time, and I'm glad we threw our rules out the window and did 51.
Yes.
It's just wild, guys. Just wild. It's as crazy as I get these days.
So what are we doing on the mini again? We're
doing a game. I've got a fun game lined up, and then we're going to do our favourite alien antagonists.
Yep.
Adversaries.
Perfect.
So aliens that humans have fought in movies, we're going to talk about that.
I can think of one.
Yep. I'll never guess. And I've got a game that we're going to enjoy, so join us next week for that. And also we get to hear which movie from the thick text 51's Ken's chosen. So that'll be fun.
Thanks everyone for listening to another ep of The Redeemables.
God damn, what a rush.
Bye.
Your basic arachnid warrior isn't too smart, but you can blow off a limb. And it's still 86% combat effective. Here's a tip. Aim for the nerve stem and put it down for good.
Would you like to know more? Everyone's doing their part. Are you? The war effort needs your effort. At work, at home, in your community. We now break net and take you live to Fleet Battle Station Ticonderoga, deep inside the Arachnid Quarantine Zone, where the men and women of the Federal Armed Services prepare to attack.
DXQ, uplink on 2, 1, you're on.
No one here in the AQZ knows exactly when the invasion of Klendathu will occur, but everyone's talking about it, and the talk says tomorrow. Here's a bunch of MI kids that look like they could eat bugs for lunch.
Yum, yum, yum.
So, Trooper, you're not too worried about fighting the arachnids?
Hey, shoot a nuke down a bug hole, you got a lot of dead bugs,
I just hope it's not over before we get some.
Some say the bugs were provoked by the intrusion of humans into their natural habitat, that a live and let live policy is preferable to war with the bugs.
Let me tell you something.
I'm from Buenos Aires, and I say kill them all!
Yeah! Oh, yeah! Yeah! Oh, yeah!